Boom!
That was good.
Boom! That was the one.
Yeah, that did.
That was the one, Mr. Reed. Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to undergroundwellness.com. We have a very, very special guest in studio, Mr. Reed Davis.
Sean Croxton.
The founder right here of Functional Diagnostic Nutrition, a course that I took way back in the summer of 2008. And seriously, Reed, it changed my life and it changed my thinking. It really got me out of the box that I write about in my book, The Dark Side of Fat Loss. And that box was what? Diet and exercise, calories in, calories out. There's so many more pieces of the puzzle, guys. And this is the guy who showed me. We talked about what? We talked about like hormones, immune system, digestion, detoxification, the elimination system, neurotransmitters. And if you think about all those words, the first letter spells hidden. And we're going to share with you the hidden truth about chasing symptoms. Let me tell you guys about chasing symptoms. I get a lot of email, tons of email from you guys, and a lot of the emails are about symptoms. You've got headaches, you've got brain fog, you've got depression, anxiety, on and on. You guys want to know exactly what's going on with you. And to be honest, my answer much of the time is, I don't know. I become kind of like the king of I don't know, because there's so many ways in which the body can go into disarray and dysfunction. And so what Reed's going to show you how to do is to stop chasing symptoms and get to the root cause. And you're going to share the first thing you ever showed me at that Functional Diagnostic Nutrition course was the brain-body diagram. Tell our audience about that.
Okay, well, the brain-body diagram is a little demonstration I've been using for many, many years with just about every client, every patient. Whenever I do a lecture, a screening, or something like that, we teach people how we think, because that's the first step. Now, Sean, I get the exact same emails you do. I got this problem, I got that problem. Or I get questions about which lab to run, because I do teach a course in lab work.
Right.
You know, the truth is, you have to be a detective. You have to have a step-by-step process. So one of the first steps is how to think. So, Sean, here's how we think. Matter of fact, let me ask you a question. What is that big organ up in your skull that allows you to think?
That would be my brain.
All right, that's one right for Sean.
Gotcha. One for one.
The brain is connected and communicates with the body. I'll try to spell right. Okay? In different ways, Sean. Give me one way.
Through the blood.
All right, blood. Blood's good. So we have the blood. You want to do another way? We've got the nerves.
The nerves and
then there's that thing that
energy
flows through you.
Chi, right.
Chi is really important.
Gotcha.
So blood, nerves, energy, good enough for now. And the purpose of this energy and blood and nervous system, all of that, is to make sure the body is functioning properly.
Functional diagnostic nutrition. Function is key.
So function is key. Now, it doesn't matter. It could be your heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, pancreas, adrenals, ovaries, testes, if you got them.
Mm-hmm. Got some of those.
And what we want is, especially with those, Sean, 100% function, right?
Right.
Now, believe it or not, that 100% function is normal. Okay,
Yeah.
That's what you got to start with. That's our thinking, is that normal is really, really good. Do you have to teach any of your cells what their job is?
No, they know what their jobs are.
They know exactly what their jobs are.
They know what's up.
And so if you're functioning normally, we like to say your body's in a state of
ease.
What's the medical term for that?
Homeostasis.
Okay, so that's a lot right for Sean.
I'm on a roll.
So, Sean, let me ask you one more. Okay?
All right.
If your body, all your organs, all your cells, all your systems, they're functioning normally, the way they're designed, in a state of ease, would you be a healthy person?
Yes.
That's what health looks like, right?
Yes.
Is that the kind of emails you're getting? Hey, I'm perfectly healthy?
No.
All right, so they have...
disease?
No,
symptoms.
Okay.
Because the video's about chasing symptoms, y'all. Symptoms.
All right, so people come with symptoms,
It's been
right?
a while since I've seen this diagram.
But Sean, so people come with symptoms, but how could they have them if their body's in a state of ease?
They can't. There's got to be something going on
All
here
right, and
there.
that thing going on there, we're going to call
disease.
Disease. That's
Lack of ease.
Where the word disease comes from,
Right.
I think. You know, disease is why they have symptoms. But Sean, how can they have disease if they're functioning normally at 100%?
They can't. They have to have some malfunction going on right there, or some dysfunction.
Malfunction, and it's no longer
normal. It's
normal.
not normal. Right?
So maybe not 100% anymore?
No.
All right, I'll buy that. And yet, you know, they're coming to you not for in their minds. This is why the thinking is so critical. They're coming to you for just this. And so they do need some of a certain type of care. What we would call that?
Relief care.
All right, so relief care. Relief care is important. Don't get us wrong. We're not saying to a lady who has hot flashes, well, it's going to be about 3, 4, 5 months.
Keep dealing with your hot flashes
we're just
until we
going to
figure
work
it
at
out.
No, so we might recommend something. Certainly, you know that, raise your hand if you've ever been to a doctor and they write a prescription for symptom removal, relief care. Again, I'm not going to harp on that as a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you only deal with the symptoms, Sean, if you did get some relief, but didn't deal with the malfunction and the disease processes, what's going to happen to those symptoms?
They'll reappear and they might get worse. And the problem is
Exactly.
there's no regard for what's going on in here at all. They're just focusing there, laser focus on the
Okay,
symptoms.
Sean, you got it.
That's our medical
Absolutely.
model.
Now, the medical model is relief care, pills, and then let's say pills don't work and the symptoms are getting worse and worse. What might that medical model do next?
That's when they start cutting stuff out of you. You don't want to have stuff cutting out of you. That's the cutting.
Especially some of those parts we really care about, right?
Right.
All right, so now let me tell you something, folks. You don't have extra parts, okay? So if you've ever been told by a physician that you don't need your gallbladder, your ovaries, or God forbid, some other major part of your body, don't believe it for a minute. Right. Relief care is okay, but if that's all you do, then you're going to be chasing those symptoms, and that's what you'll do. Mm-hmm. Now in FDN, and Sean says 4 years ago you took our course, and this made a change in your life. It's changed thousands of people's lives because we've been teaching a long time. We've taught people in over 35 countries now how to look for the causes, the causal level of the malfunction and the disease. Now, Sean, here's a word you know very well.
I know this one. Distress.
And the difference between distress and
eustress
is that this one.
That's the bad stuff that can cause the malfunctions and the disease and the symptoms, right?
So
that can be mental, emotional. It can be physical.
Mental, emotional.
It can be chemical. It can be over-exercise. It can be all kind of stuff stacking on top of each other and impacting your body, causing the malfunction.
And that's why Sean feels comfortable saying, look, I don't know. It's okay until you get into the different forms of stress that causes malfunction. So we have to look at it this way. Now in FDN is functional diagnostic nutrition. What we do is we run functional lab works. We look for the malfunctions. And what are they again? They're hidden stressors. Mm-hmm. They're in these pillars of health.
H is for hormonal. I is for immune. The 2 D's are digestion and detoxification. The E is elimination, and the N is neurotransmitters.
So there's stress in all these sort of pillars of health. Believe it or not, you can test. The good thing about this is that there are labs you can run. You can get to the root cause or have an effect upon the root cause. And if you do, Sean, what would function improve? If we worked on...
Restore function.
We restore function, and then the body returns to...
a state of ease.
And what happens to these?
You get symptom removal and complete relief.
They tend to fade away.
Right.
Now again, I'm not saying don't ever go for relief care, because if you got hot flashes, we can help you. If you have, some other thing like that. But generally, we work like this. That way, even previously diagnosed conditions. I've had people with fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and irritable bowel, and you just name it. And that's why Sean says, and I say the same thing, can I help you? Yes, I can. And, do I know what's wrong with you? Not yet, but we could certainly find out.
We can guess, which we don't want to do. And that's what a lot of people out there are doing. They're guessing, or we can test and find out exactly what's going on.
Now you're talking my language,
That was
man.
Reed Davis who taught me that back in the day. And it just really stuck. And we want to teach you guys all about this, about the hidden truth. And so what we want you guys to do, we're going to hang out for a while tonight and make like 7 or 8 videos for you guys. What we want you to do is go to chasingsymptoms.com. The link is right down there. Click on it, enter your email address. And we're going to send over a series of videos for you guys so you can learn more about this and how to stop chasing symptoms and get to the root cause. So go ahead and do that. We'll appreciate your comments right down below as well. Tell us what you learned. Tell us if just something, just you have like a light bulb moment or something like that. And tell us how much you love us. My man, Reed Davis.
Sean Crocs.
Thanks for coming by.
Thanks a lot, brother.
We'll see you guys. Peace.